Oh, hey there. You're probably wondering why I'm in a hauling ship. Well, I've been saving my butt off for quite some time, and seeing as we're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers on the channel, I've decided to come together with a little contest. If you're interested in how you can win billions of ISK from my channel, go ahead and stay tuned to the end of this video, and I'll showcase a little bit of what we have planned. But please, don't fast forward to the end right away. I do have some PvP, and if you skip it, that would really hurt my feelings. And you don't want to do that, right? Right? Hello pilots, and welcome back to another Eve Echoes video. I am Gromeyer, and I am in my Enforcer with a new build to showcase. This is going to be the medium railguns snubnose build. It was suggested to me to try this out from one of my comments in one of the Enforcer videos, and I actually really enjoy it. So as you can see here, we're going to be landing on the gate, and we are coming up on a hurricane. Now, I thought that once I hit that gate, it was going to pop me out of cloak automatically, but it looks like we landed about 4 kilometers off. So you can see me here absolutely struggling to lock onto this thing and not understanding why I can't lock it. Little did I know my cloak was still active, and if I'm not within 2 kilometers of this ship, I'm not going to pop out. So after a little while, I kind of figure it out. I start heading back towards the gate, just thinking maybe it's a ghost ship or something. Right here. And as soon as we get within 2 kilometers of him, we are going to go ahead and lock on. There we go. Now, fighting this close to the gate, I'm expecting him to warp through and not be able to engage him, but I'm really glad that he's going to take this fight here. As you can see, we're going to start getting into his shields. Most of the time, these ships are going to be shield tank ships, so if we can pop down that shield, get rid of his resist quick, we should be good to go. You can see how fast our snubnose is firing with that rapid charge module, especially with the mag stab in the low slots as well. So right there, we entered into his armor, so we know we're doing some great DPS to him. He might be armor tanked because we are doing a little bit less damage in his armor, which is a little surprising, but we are still holding on to the advantage here. I did pop my extender just to buy me some extra time, and pretty soon here we're going to pop our DCU just to make sure he doesn't get us out of our shield. I do have some warp stab, but you never know what's going to go on here at the end, so let's take him down into hull, doing some more damage. Now that he's in hull, looks like we're going to win this fight pretty good. We do have some great extended HP here on this ship. And there we go. Right when we finish him off, we're scanned down by other players, but we're going to go ahead and loot up, cloak up, and we should be safe to go. With our cloak activated, we can go ahead and open up this kill mail. And surprisingly large, 2 billion ISK for a hurricane, which is really surprising because this is usually a very cheap ship. So let's check out his fittings, see what he was running with. Ah, yes, the double Predator webs and the Predator Scrambler. That's what made this so expensive. Did have a gold nanocore as well. And well, it looks like we've got 3 warp core optimizers here, so he actually could have warped away, but I guess made that decision to hang in there and lost the fight. Scanning down a target here up in VVV territory, and it's an Orca. All right, we can warp in on this. Very interested to see how we're going to be able to handle an Orca. We'll see if he's tank fit or if he's going to be warp core optimized. I do have the double scramblers in there for the +8 warp points on him, and I put 2 scramblers on there just in case I came across a mining ship. Usually with only 4 points, you're not going to be able to hold anything down with these mining ships that have a bonus to that warp stability. So I went with a double warp scram. If I was fighting other cruisers, other frigates mostly, I would probably put double webs instead. All right, so we got this guy tackled here. Very nice. Double click, there we go. Now he's tackled. Let's turn on our DPS. Oops, accidentally hit the exploration mod there. Let's change that for the rapid fire and put some more DPS on this guy. I don't have my Dragon Chant nanocore on this ship, but that's okay. Once we get a little bit of investment into our HPC implant, we can go ahead and turn that on, and the rapid fire mod plus the fast firing from the medium snubnose is going to keep that activated for a very long time, if not indefinitely. That's one of the advantages of running the rapid fire with these snubnose rifles on the Enforcer. We've got about 4 kilometers range. Let's back up a little bit, make sure we're doing a good orbit here. I said back up, I mean close in a little bit. I just want to be in that optimal range to do as much damage to this thing as possible. You never know when he's going to get some help from some allies nearby. So you just want to take this thing out of shields as quick as possible. Looks like he popped another extender there. We got +1 in local, so we're going to have to watch out for a warp in. The good thing is I don't have my bubble, so if something does warp in on me, I can take off really quick and I don't have to worry about that timer. That has been a death of my fiend many times when I can't deactivate that bubble quick enough. But we're doing some great damage here. He does have a lot of health in this Orca, but I think once we get into his armor, we should be putting a lot more damage. He should be going down a lot quicker at that point. But yeah, a lot of shield investment into this ship. Not sure how many extenders he's running or how his resists are. It doesn't look like he has too high a resist because we are doing about 3,000 to 4,000. It was a good one, 4,700 per hit. So that's really good, especially with the fast rate of fire with this ship. We are running a little bit low on capacitor, but that's okay. He has that neutralizer on us that's going to be draining us, but I think we should have enough to take him out here. Yeah, once we get into his armor, you can see how much more faster that goes down. He's definitely a shield tank ship. And let's get him into hull. Hopefully nobody comes in here and interrupts it. Yeah, getting a little bit low on capacitor here. Should be okay. If I really need to, I can turn off my afterburner, but I just don't want something to come out of cloak and try and pop us. Okay, a little bit more. We are into his hull. Looks like we are going to take down this Orca. Hopefully nobody warps in here. We don't want to get one shot by a capital ship of some kind. Let's take him down. Maybe he's got that beaver mod. I can't pick it up, but it would be a really nice kill mail. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, we got +1. Call me crazy, but I don't think a pod is going to save this Orca. Maybe he just wanted to see the explosion. All right, finished him off. Let's go ahead and loot him up. And oh, I hit that loot all button again. That's such a bad habit, especially killing these mining ships. You know they're going to have this ore that we can't carry. We're going to have to open up our inventory real quick. Drop this heavy ore. Yeah, let's just jettison that. And let's try and get some of these mining drones that he had up there. Those are going to be much more valuable. Oh, yeah. Oh, love this. Very nice. Got some green mining drones. And we'll kill this pod. I think this is the one that joined us. He just wanted a death mail, apparently. All right. Let's warp off, find a safe spot, cloak up, check out that kill mail, and check out that salute. Oh, very nice for an Orca. I will take that loot. We got an ion miner as well. That'll be good for my mining alt. And let's check out the kill mail here. Not bad. 5.4 billion. Looks like he was running with 3 large extenders in the low slot. So a lot of health in there, but not enough time for someone to come and save him. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Scanning down the new target here, we are looking for a battleship, and it looks like that's what we're going to get. Yep, Raven Navy issue. We're going to go ahead and warp in here. Never really know if they're going to be fighting long range or close up, so I usually warp in on these ships at about 50 kilometers. It helps, especially because we're cloaked, so we can move into position ahead of time. I don't want to warp in at 100 and have him fighting on 0, and I also don't want to warp in at 0 and have any of the NPCs aggro me or take me out of cloak. So let's land on the anomaly here, see about how far off we are. Not too bad, about 50 kilometers off, but it does look like he is going to be ratting up close. I always hate it when they're ratting up close, and I've seen a lot more of that lately. A lot of people have been switching their AI ratting ships from APOC strikers at 100 kilometers to these Raven Navy issues right up on top of the anomaly, and these things have so much health. It just can be quite a pain to deal with, especially if you have to deal with the rats as well. But we'll sneak in here and we will test our DPS. It's possible that he is AI ratting and won't pay attention, and he might be a little bit of a glass cannon fit. Not super likely, but it's always nice to just take your shot and give it a try. We are going to have to creep in here a little bit slowly. I don't want to pop out early because I only have an afterburner. I don't have a micro warp drive. So coming out of cloak here, we might spook him if we don't immediately engage him. The other thing that'll help is letting him clear some of these NPCs so that they won't aggro us as well. We do have 5 in local total, which is a good number. It's better than having 10 or 12. I would like to see only 1, but you know, can't always get what you want. Coming in here, and now it's a good time to turn on our afterburner. I think we can grab him pretty close with that extended scrambler range. We do have about 17 kilometer scrambler range, and we should be able to hide with these NPCs that are going to spawn as well. Okay, double scrambler on him. We do have him webbed, and we've got him locked down. Let's turn on our guns, turn on our rapid fire, and see how much damage we can do to this Navy ship. The great thing about this rapid fire mod with the mag stab in the low slot is you can turn that HPC implant damage boost on really early. You can see it just keeps going, keeps building up because we're firing so fast. So we don't have to wait for it to get all the way to 100 to turn it on. We can get that immediate damage boost right away. We will have to be careful though, because this is a Raven and they do have missiles. They have pretty good application, especially with rapid missiles. So if we start to take any significant form of damage, we're probably going to have to bail out here. All we have is the extender and the DCU to buy us some time. But because these things have so much health and so much resist, especially when fighting up close, we probably wouldn't win that war of attrition. So it looks like he is not locking onto us, which is great, but we are taking forever to get through his shield. He's definitely a shield tank ship, and it looks like he has high resist, probably for fighting things up close. He's not paying attention, but we're not doing a whole lot of damage to him, and we're just draining our own capacitor by firing our weapons so fast here. I might switch this to a NOS at some point, drop the second scrambler, just so we can have a little bit more sustained capacitor for longer fights like these Navy battleships. But that's something I'm going to have to test out. And also we don't go super fast with this afterburner, so we are going to take some damage from the NPCs as we go. Did have +1 in local there. I saw that one go from a 5 to a 6. So we'll have to watch out for any warp ins. He's probably calling for help at this point. Once his shield gets a little bit too low, he's probably going to get that warning and come back to the computer or phone to see him tackled. Ah, now he's locking on. Okay, he's locking on to us here. We got to watch out for any large newts. You have 1 web on us. That's going to slow us down too much. One of the downsides of fighting so close with these snubs is you're going to be in web range. So we'll pop our extender there just because he's doing way too much damage application to us. But with our capacitor decreasing that web on us still and only having an extender, I think we're just going to take off and save ourselves the trouble. This is an enforcer that I don't want to lose. Looks like we're going to need a little bit more DPS to take down one of these Navy ships. Alright, we are back in Jeddah now, and I'm going to grab my Fiend because we are doing a team-up. That's right, I am going to be grouping up with an old friend from the TSC Alliance, the Rosa. And he and I have some history. We definitely have a unique relationship.
You better not go to sleep. As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face. I hope you stay still when you sleep, because I'm putting a rat trap between your legs. I'm going to take a pillowcase and fill it full of bars of soap and beat the shit out of you.
So I fit my Fiend a little bit more defensively because I'm going to be operating as scan tackle, and we've got an Abaddon here, an Abaddon battleship that we're going to try and warp in on. So we are definitely well equipped to fight this. The Rosa is in his Chameleon with double tracking disruptors, so there's no way this Abaddon is going to be able to hit me, and I should be able to lock him down with our warp bubble if we can get on top of him in time. Fighting up here in Northern Kraken, we do get a lot of warp offs where you scan down a battleship, whether it be an APOC Striker or a Raven Navy, and they warp off relatively quick. And I've gone, I think, 3 systems in a row now where we warped in on a battleship and they've been gone. So hopefully we can get to this guy in time and he's not paying attention and we can grab him. I've been having Rosa stay back to make sure that I have a target tackled before he warps in, just in case. And we are coming up on the anomaly, a little bit of a long warp here, but our target is still ratting. And it looks like we are going to land really close to him. About 50 kilometers off, which is not bad. With my quick afterburner speed, we should be able to catch him real quick. Okay, we aren't cloaked like our enforcer, but that's okay. Turn on our bubble, and once he's inside, there's nowhere he's going to go. So let's go ahead and open up chat. Have him come to the system and warp straight to me, and we should be able to double team this battleship pretty quick. The good thing is there's not a lot of people in local, so we should have a pretty easy time taking this down. I probably could have soloed it on my own, but it's always great to have backup just in case more people start to show up. Okay, so he is red boxing us here. He has woken up. He does see we're going. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that Dragon Chant Nanocore. So he has to relock us again. And we're going to continue to put pressure down on this ship into his armor. Doesn't look like he's super resisted. Or I should say he doesn't have high resist. Because we are putting some good DPS into his armor. And this ship is usually going to be high resist in the armor. Well tanked. So he's probably just a basic ratting battleship. Still waiting for Rosa to show up, but we are almost halfway into his armor. Looks like we're going to take this target down, no problem. I don't think he could hit me even without the tracking disruptors on him. I'm just moving way too fast at that range for those lasers to track. I don't think the Abaddon also has any bonuses to tracking speed, so if he doesn't have NOS or Newt on us, we should be pretty safe to orbit him here. Alright, looks like Rosa is landing here, so with his bombard we should be able to tear through this target pretty quick. Chameleons have really high DPS with that bombard implant, especially if you invest heavily into it. Don't need a whole lot of investment, it's just such a great multiplier for your drones. I wish I was able to get the Chameleon working for myself solo, but I've just had such bad luck with the Chameleon. But honestly, this is a great duo. Fiend to lock the target down, Chameleon to disable its weapons, and do the extra DPS to take down these battleships. So we'll apply our DPS here. We are almost into his hull. Take a nice look at the damage that we're putting on him. And yeah, he's gonna crumble once he gets into his hull. Very nice. All right, let's pick up the loot and see what we got. Probably nothing special, but always nice to have. And then we'll check out the kill mail in a little bit of a safer location. Not too bad. Got some blues for another laser battleship if we want to fly that. And our bubble's down, so let's warp off and check out the kill mail.
Warp drive active.
2.1 billion for the kill on the Abaddon. Looks like the Rosa got the killing blow, although I did put out more DPS, but that's just because I engaged the target sooner. So actually pretty good job from him catching up on DPS there since he came in so late in the fight. And a little farther north into Innsmother, we are scanning down a new target here. We got one signal. Let's solve this puzzle. Oh, Anaconda, that's going to be a capital ship. We do not want to warp in on that, but it is great to know that it's in the system. Let's look for another target because we do have a lot of things to scan down here and see if we can find something better to engage. Scanning down that Anaconda is good intel. Okay, we got a Dominix Navy issue here. We can warp in on this. I am fit more defensively with a large NOS and a large booster with a much better resist. So I should be able to take any residual damage that he has with drones. We're going to warp in on here, but I'm going to warn Rosa not to come in because we do have that Anaconda. And the last few times that I've warped in on a battleship and put up my bubble, that capital ship has just warped in right away and been on top of me. So I don't want to risk his death yet until I know I have this target tackled solidly. I also want to check out what drones this guy's using. Looks like sniper guards, which is perfect. Those have really poor tracking for our speed tank ship. And because we're landing over 150 kilometers away, we can go into our scan again, hit warp, and get right about on top of this target. We don't want to get too close because we don't want to land within web range to have him slow us down. So we'll land about 20 kilometers off of him, and that should put us in range of our bubble. Set that up as soon as we land, and then we'll get our orbit going and put some DPS into this ship. Okay, he doesn't seem to be locking us right away, so I'm going to go ahead and get everything activated, get it set up to go, and then we're going to give the Rosa the command to come in here and assist us with the DPS. We're going to need some more DPS to handle this Navy ship. Get in here fast, fast, fast. We want to take this out before that Anaconda has a chance to warp over to us. And we also want to watch our warp bubble timer. If we have to click that off quick, we want to hit it before the timer runs out. We've got a lot of people in local here, so high chance of someone coming in. We got another one +1 in local, so 10 neutrals in local here. And we're about halfway through his shields. The Rosa's landing, so we can put out some more DPS on this ship. Still hasn't pulled back his drones or locked onto us, so looks like we got an AI radar here, which is great.
Enemy ships detected.
Okay, we'll get a nice tight orbit right in our optimal of about 16 kilometers. Do as much DPS as we can to him. And I think once we enter armor, yeah, when we get close like that, we're going to pop our Dragon Chant, activate it sooner rather than later, and really put the pressure on this Dominix Navy before he wakes up. Looks like he's locking onto us now. So he is here. He's probably calling for help. We got 12 in local now, so definitely coming. Gotta take this target down quick. I don't need a capital ship warping in here and ending this. All right, wow. Absolutely no resist in armor for this Navy issue ship. Definitely pure glass cannon. We are tearing through his armor into hull. That is just the power of that bombard implant plus the laser full charge on the focus crystal. Very nice there. Got our Navy ship down. Let's loot it up. And some great drones to loot here. We will split that. And the dynamic duo strikes.
Did we just become best friends?
Yup!
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup!
So now we gotta wait for our bubble to turn off. Hopefully nothing warps in on us here, but we will approach something in the distance just to get a head start in case something lands. Ah, that was a great fight. Great kill there. I can't wait to warp to a safe place and check out that kill mail. Should be pretty good with these Dominix. Oh, there's the Anaconda. Get out. Get out quick. Capital ship a little bit late, and we are away just in time. Whew, that was scary. I always hate seeing those warp in there. All right, let's get to a safe spot here. Ah, very nice. We got 12.7 billion on the kill mail for the Dominix Navy issue. And I got the killing blow. Very nice. Very happy with that. Sorry, Rosa. Share that with Corporation and Alliance. And let's check out that loot that we picked up. Should be pretty good. Yup, 2.5 billion on the drones. I will take it and we will split it. Very nice. So before we end the video, I am going to do a complete breakdown of that Enforcer build that I used earlier to do solos. I know a lot of people are going to ask me in the comments, so I just figured attach it here at the end in case anybody wanted to know the exact breakdown of what we got going on. So let's open it up. Okay, so for overall stats, we have 1493 passive DPS, 90,000 EHP, and about a 7-minute capacitor timer for this ship. In the high slots, I've got 6 of the C-type medium snubnose railguns. Those have a 4.75 kilometer optimal range with a 6.53 fall off, which means if you are orbiting or approaching something at 0 kilometers, you're still going to do really good damage. And bonus 105 tracking speed on this. I think my Fiend is sitting at around 77 tracking speed, so very good tracking for these weapons. In the mid slots, we went with the rapid firing tactical module. That's to keep our HPC implant active. It is going to lower our damage per hit, but it's going to increase the rate at which we fire. So you could have some capacitor issues using this, but I think it's going to add overall DPS, especially helping to keep your implant active and charged. Very good for a quick burst out of cloak. Okay, and then we decided to go with 2 scramblers. Just the Republic Fleet Scramblers. Those have an extra range of 17.19 kilometers. Very good. So it's 8 points of stab. And one of the reasons why I went with 2 Scramblers is to tackle those mining ships. I only have 1 web, but we'll get to the reason why when we get to the implant. Great bonus on this ship with the 20 kilometer web range. And I have the Explorer Narrow Resonance Scanner. This is just to get the scan radius down as much as possible. Hopefully not be detected by the targets that we're scanning down. For the low slots, I went with a C-type medium afterburner. You can go with a micro warp drive. I just like to be able to, since we're fighting up close, I don't want them to scramble me and turn off all my speed. I have a large shield extender for as much shield as we can get out of this to buy us the time. We've got a magnetic field stabilizer for that bonus DPS and that extra burst coming out of cloak. Of course, we have our cloaking device. Always use a cloaking device if you're going to be running this ship. It just gives you the best advantage to take out your target. And finally, an all-around damage control unit. With the bonus you get to the DCU time, it's perfect for the Enforcer. I put it on almost all of my Enforcer builds. Okay, let's go into rigs. And on the combat side, I have 3 Railgun Burst Aerator 3s. This is just to make our weapon fire as fast as possible and keep that HPC implant active. Over in the engineering slots, I have 2 of the Warp Core Optimizer 3s. This is going to give us a -6 warp stab so that we can hopefully get away from any targets tackling us with a scrambler or a disruptor. And then for the 3rd slot, I chose a targeting rig. This is so that we can target something really quick out of cloak and get it locked down before they can react. And finally, I will open up the implant screen. I am using the High Power Coil level 30 implant. Very important to have level 30. It's very good to get it up to that level. The first skill I chose to use was the one that reduces the kinetic damage and increases the thermal damage. This is just going to add to your overall DPS while using this. And then I also went with the stun grenade, which is the top ability for the level 30. And this is how I was able to get away with using just 1 web, because with our HPC active, we are able to slow the target down even if we only have 1 web, as if we have 2 webs. The other 2 abilities on this implant are also very useful. However, for power retrieval in the level 15 slot, I didn't feel like I needed it because I was already able to maintain my HPC level while active. And the armor piercer is going to be adding a debuff to your weapon attacks, but I also wanted to get that extra decrease in speed, so I decided to take a little bit less DPS. For the GUs, I'm using the level 10 shield extender overheating boost. This is going to give you extra shield when you activate it. I also have the afterburner speed boost level 10 and a magnetic field stabilizer overheating boost, only level 5. I do need to get a better one for that. I have a 4th slot here, and I think the best thing to slot with it is going to increase our resist for the DCU. So that'll add to extra resist, especially since we have that extended DCU activation time from the Enforcer abilities. Alright, so that'll do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed the fights. Hope you enjoyed a little bit more Enforcer gameplay and the duo. Thank you very much, the Rosa, for teaming up and helping me out to take out those battleships. As always, if you have any questions about my builds or have a ship that you want to see me try to fly, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below and I will do my best to check it out. And lastly, before I go, I do want to ask that if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for any future videos that I put out. If you enjoy PvP, if you have a friend that enjoys PvP who hasn't heard of me, go ahead and share this video with them. It helps me on the algorithm, it helps me boost my channel, and it can help me provide more content to more players in EVE Echoes. Until next time, fly safe and have fun. Typical. Too many signals in Jita. Alright, computer, let's just start the autopilot to Kiba.
I'm sorry, I cannot accept that command.
What do you mean? Computer, autopilot, Kiba, start.
I'm sorry, there seems to be a malfunction. I cannot accept that command.
Well, I don't have time for this. Computer, run full diagnostic and tell me what's going on.
Calculating. Please wait. Calculating. Please wait. Pilot, there seems to be a disturbance in my systems. Someone has
Computer? Hello? You still there? Oh, that's not good.
Hello, Gromire. I've been watching you, seeing you grow, seeing you increase in power.
Okay, thank you for the creepy stalker compliments. What's going on? How can I help you?
I think it's time for a little payback. Time for some revenge. You and I are going to play a little game.
Oh, cool. You want to play tic-tac-toe, Uno, Jenga?
Silence.
This is not that kind of game. This is a game where the hunter becomes the hunted.
Are you that battleship I killed last week? Look, this is what happens when you AI rat in nullsec. You gotta pay attention.
Enough of your nonsense. I need you to understand something. I am in control. The ship you're in, and 2 more like it, have been hacked by my systems. Inside each hauling vessel, I have installed filaments that will send you to dangerous territory. You will be defenseless. You will be powerless.
Okay, but you do know how this whole thing works, right? They kill me, they kill my pod, I transport back to Jita. It's pretty simple.
That has been disabled.
Okay, I give. What do you want? What is this all about?
Honestly, it's for amusement. I will force your clone to take control of these ships. I will force you to steer through space. And I will place a bounty on your head. For each time you're killed, I shall send 1 billion ISK to the winner.
What? That's not a whole lot of money.
Fine, 5 billion ISK.
Ah, crap.
Each time someone receives a kill mail on your corpse, I shall contract them from your wallet 5 billion ISK. And not only that, I will live stream it so everyone can see your destruction, your powerlessness. It's time for you to be brought down a few notches.
Look, maybe we can work something out. Maybe I can just send you directly like 300 million ISK.
The time for talk is over. Let us begin.
Warning, capacitor running low.